I'm your host, Joseph Warji, and I would like to welcome you to episode 1 of Sensical Intelligence. The purpose of the podcast is to encourage sensible thinking, as I think it is something that's lost nowadays. You can reach me on Instagram and Twitter at Life of Emma and on YouTube at Sensical Intelligence. Today's topics are Donald Trump's social media banning and Clout Babies. Recently, Donald Trump's been banned from Twitter and all other social media platforms after the attack on the Capitol, which he organized. Although he's done several horrible, well, can't say several, can say multitude of horrible things over the past 4 years, I don't think he should have been banned from social media. Even after all the racism and violence he's been inciting, his First Amendment rights give him the right to voice his own opinion, no matter how foul the things he says are. We have to let him speak his mind. And on all honesty, I think it's a good thing he's speaking his mind. I know some of you are looking at me like, aren't you black? And before y'all come for me, just hold up, just wait. I don't like anything that he says, but I understand that this is what needs to happen to improve the United States. A lot of people have hid their emotions and their true intentions and opinions because they were attacked for the hatred they spewed, and rightfully so. But in order to weed out the undercover racists, you need someone who's going to empower them and reveal how they really feel. I'd much rather know my neighbor hates me than think we're all buddy buddy. So I can move my way and he can move his way. We don't need to like each other or love each other because that's truly unrealistic. But something we can obtain is tolerance. Learn to live with one another. If you disagree with that person or don't like them, just stop talking to them. Simple as that. It's not complicated. You can't force someone to think how you want them to. It's just not possible. Unless you're on some inception shit, but that's completely different. If we keep censoring people for what we don't like because we deem it hatred, the lines get blurred. Nowadays, you can't even criticize a woman or the alphabet community without being deemed a hater. And I don't think that's right. You should let people say what they want. And if you disagree with it, just move your way and move their way. I remember I don't remember how long ago this was, but I called WAP a nasty ass song because it's a nasty ass song. All Cardi B is talking about is it was just sex. I'm like, that's disgusting. Don't put that on the airways. You should do that shit in private. And I got so much backlash for it. I don't think what I said was messed up. And it was just the truth. And in all honesty, I respect Donald Trump for saying the nonsense that he does. He has the balls to say it. Go ahead. It's something that's lost in 2021. Most men nowadays, they're cucks. And they walk around on eggshells in the workplace, at home, and on social media. They just don't want to come out and express themselves. Like, if you don't let your nuts hang, come on now. But I digress. The moral of the story is to tolerate each other and forget trying to make people think the same. Everyone's different. And switching gears, we gotta discuss these clout babies. Looking at my environment, I see more single mothers around my age and think, what the hell is happening? It must be no Jimmy season because everybody's going sushi. They're getting pregnant like it's glamorous, all because of all the gender reveals and baby showers, but if you want to pop a balloon full of blue chalk, you can do it in the backyard for a 99¢. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy, but hey, you're living your dream. And I really do think people forget how much diapers cost. That baby's gonna be newspapers by the second week because you're not stable. And who's gonna pay for it? Who's gonna pay for all this? Like, at least if you get pregnant, at least take a ride around the clinic and just ride around in the parking lot, passing the place. Just think about it. Y'all fall so hard to get it, and you should at least take advantage and think about it. But if that's not you and you're a religious person and you don't believe in abortion, don't take my advice. Just do what you want, but know there's consequences for it. Those consequences may be you may not be able to get a man. You may not be able to finish college. You may not be able to live your dreams. But your new responsibility is the child that you have. I'm just worried about the children in all honesty. Babies should grow up in a stable environment. Being in a bad situation dooms them from the start. I know some of you thinking about like Barack Obama. He's a product of a single mother. He became the president of the United States. You're right. But he's an outlier. And they're uncommon. When focusing on the majority of children born out of wedlock, most of them never amount to anything. The reason they never amount to anything is because they're not in a stable environment. 70% of all the inmates come from single mother households. That's not to say that single mothers don't get the job done, because they definitely do. They do the best that they can. It's to say that it's not in your best interest to raise your child that way or raise a child in that environment. I say a way to solve the pregnancies would be able to show them the realities of getting pregnant. Show them this in school, as early as elementary school, and just fix the sexual education. I think if you shock people and you don't glamorize being a single mother at like age 19, that's what I'm talking about for people who don't know. I think if you don't glamorize it, you should be fine. You gotta stop congratulating people on getting pregnant early. I'm 19, and there's no reason I should see so many people my age getting pregnant. It's just not a good look, and it's not good for society or the next generation. Because when we're old, they're going to be in charge. And you don't want people who are raised unstable to be in those positions necessarily. I'd much rather prefer somebody who has both parents there and their parents plan it out, because they won't have as many dysfunctions. And you honestly have to stop congratulating people, especially if you don't mean it. If you know they can't make a bowl of cereal and they can't even do their laundry properly, you might want to put them to the side and say something in the least judgmental way. Overall, I don't suggest bashing them, but I don't suggest congratulating them, especially if it isn't sincere. They'll get the hint that you're hating, which you are, but they'll get over it. And if they don't, they don't. They're going to try to prove you wrong. And that's okay. You should push them to be better parents. But you should encourage them to do it on their own or have kids when they're so young. The less single mothers at a young age, the better the next generation will be. And that's just facts. The lesson for today is to encourage people to speak their mind and don't silence them because you don't like their opinion. Also, stop glamorizing teen pregnancy. It's not cute. Well, that's all we have today. Again, follow me on IG and Twitter at Life with Imla and subscribe to me on Sensical Intelligence on YouTube. I'm your host, Joseph Warji. Stay sensible. I'm out.